Yeah. Blessed good night to each and everyone. First, let me apologize for this late start here this afternoon. It's certainly because of circumstances beyond my control. Coming up on the Mosquito Creek or Crack, however you want to call it, standstill traffic as a result of some electrical wire, and therefore we had to revert to going through the woodland area and try to come out by the Debe roundabout, and of course use the highway to see how quickly we can get here, even though being confined to the rules of the speed limit. So, as people say, it's better late than never. So we are here, so let me welcome each and every one of you, regionally, locally, internationally. Welcome to Facts Not Fiction. And I just want to put you on notice that I am asking you to follow the Facts Not Fiction page and tune in to Facts Not Fiction as we go forward, because I am going to be moving off from the Victor Roberts profile, and I'm going to be streaming also on Facts Not Fiction. So follow that page and tune in, and let's build that page together so we can bring the information to you as we are accustomed. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I want to start with a story by Akash Samaru on the Guardian newspaper. And it states, senior cop tell Dago residents at TTPS town meeting, take charge of your children. I want to read this story into your hearing as we use this story to move forward tonight. In this story, ladies and gentlemen, by Akash Samaru, it stated, is scolding from the Dago Martin residents as the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the TTPS, plead with parents to take charge of their homes. If you are truly serious about, let me just find back this here. If you are truly serious about tackling gang violence and juvenile delinquency, at a Western Division town meeting on Wednesday at the Central Dago Martin Community Center, residents complained to the police about wide range of issues, from a lack of patrol to issues with garbage, fireworks, and loud music, this article states. However, when asked what the TTPS is doing to arrest gang violence and young people joining gangs, Assistant Commissioner of Police, that's the ACP, Coilas Hazer, asks what they were doing to control their children. Since when can't we talk to our children? Since when can't we tell them how to behave and how to conduct themselves? He said, since when do we allow our children to reach home after 9 o'clock in the night and there is nobody accountable to answer to? So the story goes on. Where have we gone as a society? As a person, you could not do that when you were young, he said. So why are you allowing it now? He asks loudly. Hazer said, while the TTPS has projects to guide young people, it is not the police job to raise them. You are their parents. You are the parents of those children. And he went on to say, ladies and gentlemen, and you have the responsibility in order to take care of your children, and for far too long, when the parents have failed, the churches has failed, the school has failed, society leave the responsibility to the police and to the judiciary. Tonight, Western, I am putting it squarely on the parents of these communities to ensure that we return to the bargaining table, Hazer said with loud applause. And I know for a fact that this had to be a PNM crowd, because it's only PNM crowders applaud to rubbish. But I will get to that in a little while. The ACP reminded those in attendance that they brought their children into the world and they cannot shy away from the responsibility. He added, we have 97 police-run youth clubs throughout Trinidad and Tobago. In those 97, we have to find 97 police officers from our pool to work with these young people in order to shape these young people so that they can be the catalyst for change. However, we don't do it alone. We do it with teachers and leaders from the community who work together in order to deal with certain social issues in order to prevent social decay. He told those in attendance that recently the TTPS has realized that these operations is in a concentric circle. Story go on. So, in the failure of society, in its parenting, the school and some of its outreach programs, children are placed before the courts. Police officers will lay charges and put them before the court. The judiciary put it right squarely back now in the hands of the police, who in recent times are sending back to the police youth clubs to be supervised and to provide the opportunity where they can also do community service. ACP Hazer said, making a circle-like motion with his fingers, 360 round the circle. So the police take them off the streets for bad behavior, then the court send them back to the police, and then the police is charged with the responsibility. The assistant police commissioner said it is important for parents to understand the dilemma they were with in society. Hence the reason we are asking for equal partnership. However, he sought to underscore that while he is calling for more discipline, he is not encouraging abuse. We can be firm but not harsh. We can love without inflicting punishment. But clearly, there has to be a responsibility and a role that parents need to play in assuring our youths don't join gangs, but join group. When I read that story, ladies and gentlemen, I tried to understand what the ACP is telling Diego Martin. And when I understand that Diego Martin was sharing loud applause, they were applauding this rubbish as far as I am concerned, that an acting commissioner of police will stand up and tell parents that is their responsibility. It is the parents' responsibility to stop their children from joining gangs. So while you Facebook commentators prepare to type and prepare to support what ASP Hazel is saying into your hearing, I want to enlighten your minds. I wonder if people in this country understand what is parenting. I wonder if the people who are sitting in the audience, if they too understand what is parenting. I also try to wonder if the ACP and others who was on that table, if they understand what is parenting. We know that parenting is a process of raising children. But within that process, ladies and gentlemen, the parents is charged with the responsibility also of providing them with protection and care. But not only providing their children with a level of protection and care in order to ensure a healthy development into adulthood. But most important, ladies and gentlemen, the parent also have the responsibility to transfer these cultural values in preparing their children for a life as productive adults in society. Parenting is really a holistic issue. There is many other entities that will attach to parenting. Apart from the economical situation which arrive within parenting, not only to provide that quality of health and that quality of life, but trust me, it is not an easy task. It is a task that is filled with challenges. It is a task that also requires patience. It requires a different level of love. You know, I remember one scripture say that God also chastised those that he loved. But let us get into some serious points here now. When asked what the TTPS is doing to arrest the gang violence and young people join in gangs, you, Mr. Coiler Caesar, you, Mr. ACP, according to the story here, you ask what the parents were doing to control their children. Well, I am trying to figure out and understand. While you rest back the question in the lapse of the parents, the question, Mr. Coilas, to you was what the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is doing to arrest the gang situation in the country and to prevent our children, your children, them children, UNC children, PNM children, and everybody children from getting involved in gang activities. That was the question. I want to draw to your attention, Mr. Coilas Hazel, that in mid-May of 2022, I want to ask if you were a police officer. I want to ask if you was in the service under Gary Griffith. I want to ask if you were in the service under McDonald Jacob. Because it seems as though that you enter into the police service probably a week or two before this tongue meeting in Diego Martin. Because coming down to the end of the story, I also saw that the town hall meeting style forum is a mandate from Police Commissioner Ola Harewood Christopher, who asked that each division meet with the public at least once a month. Let me tell you something. This is an initiative that I could remember as far back, that this town hall meeting that really bear no significant fruit were very much active. So I don't want to hear nothing but this is some new or old or whatever Ola Christopher Harewood or Ola Harewood Christopher, whatever initiative. Because everybody in this country know that town hall meeting with the police was ongoing for years, and from where I sit, it brought little or no fruits to the table in terms of curbing crime and reducing crime even within the communities that these meetings were held. So I want to ask, if you just joined the police service, you had to join the police service as an ACP. You could not come through the rank and file of the TTPS and stand up and talk this bundle of hogwash and trying to put the blame of gangs and gang-related activities in the bosom and in the hearts of the parents. This is not in the heart of the parents, Mr. Coilas Hazel. This is solely, the TTPS is solely by itself under the umbrella of national security and all the apparatus that goes with that. You are to blame for the escalation in gang-related activities and gang violence in this country. And I will prove it to you. In mid-May, Mr. Hazel, during the lunch, while they were launching this program of the gang reducting and committee empowerment program, which is called GRACE, G-R-A-C-E, the acronyms. Acting Police Commissioner McDonald Jacob tell this country that there are an estimate of 130 gangs in this country, and the TTPS knows them. This was in 2022. The acting commissioner of police said to this country that there is an estimate 130 gangs that is actively involved in homicide and other serious, heinous crimes. That was the utterance of your commissioner, Mr. Coilas, Mr. Hayes, ACP. So for you to stand up, and as you said here, putting it squarely in the hands of the parents, as you said, it is downright foolishness. It is a dishonest statement, and you and the TTPS, together with your commissioner of police, your national idiot security minister, and the government under Keith Rowley, they are the ones to blame for the gang-related activities in this country. And I am going to prove it to you tonight. I am going to prove it to you, the critics, if you could take the truth. If you can't take the truth, well, then that's a matter for you. The government, the national security minister, the prime minister, as he always boasts, being the head of the National Security Council, they told this country that they have all the information, that they know exactly who are the gang leaders, that they know, and they were actively going to pursue and break up the criminal gangs in this country. It was Gary Griffith who pleaded with the Rowley administration not to give the gang leaders any more contracts. I wonder if they're listening well. Not to give the gang leaders any more contracts. What that is saying to you? to the PNM who can understand. Gary Griffith was asking the Rowley administration to cease and to desist from giving gang leaders any more contracts. So you know what that means? While you, the PNM supporter, couldn't get a contract, the people who the government, who Rowley and the National Security Minister and all of them is telling you responsible for criminality in the country, they were getting contracts. They were building their empire. They were recruiting your children. But why was they recruiting your children? They were recruiting your children because when the government failed to give you a contract as a law-abiding citizen and failed to provide for you and minimize the opportunity of employment and close down industries that would have employed you and send home thousands upon thousands of workers, then what the government were merely doing is equipping the gang leaders with the necessary funding to recruit your children when you cannot provide as a parent. So the government tell this country that they know the gang leaders. A matter of fact, there were equipments, spyware that they bought from Israel. And Gary Griffith said to you that he had concerns of where the executive wanted to place those spyware and under whose control. Gary said that he had put those pieces of equipment under the hands of the TTPS, under the relevant agency, who would be able to put before the courts the PNM friends. But I think that the government believe that those pieces of equipment under the hands of the relevant section of the TTPS would have caused severe damage and many arrests, not of the gang leaders in the various community, but arrests of government ministers. So they said to you that we know the gang leaders. Why are your children joining these gangs? Ladies and gentlemen, common sense ain't so common anymore. Because if this ACP is telling us that the parents have to prevent the children from joining the gang, I want to ask the TTPS, what is their responsibility in terms of dismantling those gangs? If the police dismantle the gangs, it will have any gang for your children to join? But they was clapping with loud applause in the meeting, you know. When the man tell them it's them responsible, they clap. They clap. Rowley say we know of the government. They clap. Rowley say a laptop program is detrimental to the children of the country. They clap. Rowley said the last man that put me out of the parliament, or let's see what I'm saying, they clap. Rowley said some young girl wind back on him, they clap. Rowley said they dotish, they clap. Anything Rowley say, they clap. So that Diego Martin crowd had to be PNM people not standing up and letting this ACP know that it's not the parents at fault with the gangs and the gangs related activities. It is the TTPS not doing the job. It is the government not doing the job. It is the Minister of National Security that should be fired. Because if the government tell you that they know who are the perpetrators, they campaign on that policy, they tell you that they have all the information, they tell you that, and today they want to shift the blame to tell you, the parent, that you is responsible for your children joining a gang when Rowley take away all their employment, when Rowley only raising taxes, when Rowley only raising fuel, when grocery price going up every Monday morning, when you can't pay your bill because RIC going to raise utility bills in a while, property tax coming, you are no job, the gang leaders getting work, the gang leaders are contract, but them telling you that you to blame because your children joining some gang that Rowley them say they know who responsible. I want to ask you people here tonight, how Boki, yeah, Boki, beat on Boki, how did Boki, who they say is one of the gang leader, deceased of course, they say, I want to ask you the people, how Boki reached in the president house to a PNM minister swearing in. Hello, what the facts I gained to tell you. Take it as all you want it. But again, all the facts. How Boki, who them say was one of the leaders in Silots, how he reached in president house to a swearing-in ceremony with a PNM minister. I want you to tell me, I only asking question. How that happened? Let me go back a little bit. All you know, Margera was living just by the traffic light in John house on the hill right overlooking. Overlooking where they say him what buy and bill or whatever him what do. Margera, go back and check the same TTPS records. You will see when they kill Margera in Waterfield, the TTPS come out and tell you that Margera was wanted in connection with over 16-20 murders. They come and tell you that Margera is a notorious criminal. They come and tell you that Margera was involved in everything from kidnapping come right back. What they didn't tell you was the same PNM Patrick Manning government who Keith Rowley was a part of that appoint Margera as an advisor to the Minister of Local Government. Go back and check all the record, you know. Or you don't want to know why Gary was begging and say no more contracts for gang leaders? It was the PNM government that Keith Rowley was a part of that appoint Mark Guerra, according to the TTPS records, a notorious killer, a notorious gangster, a notorious gang leader. While all those files were sitting there, it was the PNM that Rowley was a part of, manning the Prime Minister, that appointed Mark Guerra as the advisor to Jarat Narain at the time as Minister of Local Government. This is facts, not fiction, Rowley. So how Burkey reach in the president of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago? How we reached there to a swearing-in ceremony after TTPSS and the minister and all of them have all kind of information about Burkey. How we reached to a PNM swearing-in ceremony at the president residence. They're telling you they know the gang leaders, you know. They're telling you they have all the information. Let me go a little further. Let's go a little further. It was a Patrick Manning-led government that Keith Christopher Rowley was a part of. When cocaine and mortar bombs were found in Sadiq Bash tank, and when we had a man by the name of Vernon Paul, better known as Preacher, who came and met with an acting PNM commissioner and spew the information. And in a matter of days, they tell Vernon Paul that it's not safe here in Trinidad. And this matter is too high profile. So go back down to Venezuela and the police will come and record statements there. Because of high government ranking officials who were involved in that operation. Where PM name were called, and it wasn't project manager. Minister name were called. Mayor names were called. High-ranking police officer names were called. As soon as Vernon Paul landed in Caracas, and catch the first taxi to head back to a place that was designated as a safe house, Vernon Paul was executed, shot dead. Cocaine and Sodic Bash tank case closed. Witness dead, end of the story, everybody go free. I want to ask Keith Rowley if he could remember that story. We have had so much witnesses in safe house. One witness poison. We have had other witnesses who came forward with guns in children's hand. And they were found shot to death. First autopsy, they say suicide. Second autopsy shows severe blows, blunt trauma, ribs mash up, lungs puncture. And it's probably the first time a man shoot himself with the wrong hand. All this, ladies and gentlemen, all these matters that is existing, no end in sight. Tonight, I want to tell you, the people of this country, the mother and father of all gangs in Trinidad and Tobago, it is the PNM. The PNM not only give birth to gangs, but they also clone gangs. The PNM built the gang empire in this country. We have seen a special branch report recently that speaks a particular government minister involved in those such activities. We have seen a special branch report that circulate throughout the length and breadth. With Foster Cummins jumping up inside of that. And what happened to that report? Madam Commissioner of Police. What happened to that report? We have seen Marlene McDonald charged. Some of those charges already gone through the window. We have had Franklin Khan and Eric Williams charged in this country for corruption. With a man they call Dan Sook. Who after the last seismograph contract lost his memory. Lost his memory, he can't remember nothing. That is what we are faced with, ladies and gentlemen. So don't try to come down on the parents of this country. I want ACP Hazel to put the blame where it's supposed to be. Put the blame by all your own feet. Because if all you do all your job and mash up the gangs in this country, our children would not have any gangs to join to. But you see, all of you guys at the helm of the police service, I think that most of you have no fortitude. So all you bow and succumb and suck up to political influence. Or you will not stand up and tell this country why all you can't lock up them top brass. Why all you can't touch them top brass. All you tell us, all you know who they are. All you tell us, all you have the information. All you have all the equipment. Not only to listen to me and when my phone ring, to listen and record my conversation. Listen and record them on. Listen and record Rowley conversation. Listen and record Foster Cummins conversation. Listen and record Stuart Young conversation. Listen and record Faris Alwari conversation. And not forgetting Camille Robinson Regis conversation. Rohan Sidanan conversation. Record and tape them. Them is who all you have to record and tape. Record and tape Heinz conversation. Just like how all you want to record the UNC conversation, record them on too. Year go, year come. 7 long years going on 8. As the Rastaman sing, trodden the road for the longest while. For the longest while, all this government did is not to mash up the gangs, The policy that this government brought to the table is not to mash up the gangs and to lock up the gang leaders. The policy that the government brought to the table is to mash up the parents and mash up the home. That is the policy. Mash up the parents and mash up the children home. That is what Keith Rowley government did for the last 7 going on 8 years. Mash all you up. And today they can't mash up one gang. Every time somebody get killed, the police will jump up and show you some picture with them posing with some big gun, and then jump out and tell you that that person is responsible for 5 murders. That person is responsible for 10 shooting. But when the person alive, the police say know that. As they get gunned down or they get killed, you're seeing press release from the TTPS. This man is known to us, and he was wanted in connection with 5 murders. He's a member of this gang. He is a member of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, from what I see, McDonald Jacob here say, is a number from 1 to 130, because he said it over 130 gang. And everybody have a different name. So it's from 1 straight to 130. They will tell you all who was involved in this gang as somebody get gunned down. But while the person living, they blind. They have no intelligence. They have no picture to show you. But as they get killed, big picture front page, social media, man posting with a AR-15, posting with a Glock 19, posting with a Mark 11, posting with a Uzi, posing with something. But the ACP telling we that we responsible for we children joining what the Rowley government ain't doing nothing about, what the PNM bill. So we responsible for having our children join what the PNM bill. Well, all shouldn't vex, because the hottest areas is the PNM areas. So the PNM bill, where was it to be? In Debe? You want it to be down in Debe? That is what people in this country condone. The buck keep passing, the blame keep coming down. So you see all that hogwash when this man come and talk, they fall in the go Martin, or they could clap to that. Or they clap to that because they have some clapping to nothing. Clap to that. But if they want real talk, let the police get up and do what they are charged with, responsible to do, based on the fact that they tell us they had the information. All your national security, wherever he is, tell you the people, they know who they are. Proper English, I can't talk English like them. Tongue between teeth, pronunciation of words correctly. They know who they are. And what happened? They have some policeman coming to tell all you to blame. All you can't provide for all the children, all you to blame. Just now they go tell all you lazy. If they ain't telling all of that already. I here want to make a statement here. The young people in this country lazy. The young people ain't want nothing. I say, look, woman, I refuse to listen to you and that hogwash you talking there. Every parent in this country, %99 would want the best for the children. No parent in this country, 99% of them, will want the child to dead like a dog by the side of the road as a result of gang or gun violence. Every right-thinking husband in this country wants to be a provider and to stand up as a man to provide. Every right-thinking wife in this country will stand up and want to make ends meet to have a proper home, a proper family in this Trinidad and Tobago. The only people who don't want you to have a proper family and a proper life and a proper job, who are able to provide for your children, is the PNM. The PNM. They who don't want you to have a proper job. They are the ones who don't want you to have a proper home. They are the ones that introduce the policies to have the gang leaders recruiting your children. I know mothers who cry begging God to provide an opportunity for the husband and the children. You know why? Because that is the reality of the Keith Rowley government in Trinidad and Tobago. This have nothing to do with race, you know. Don't mama guy and fool yourself, you know. This has nothing to do with race, you know. This has to do with governance. I tell you folks already, I am an advocate for good governance despite who sit on the chair. When the party that I support sits on the chair, Victor Roberts will be the advocate for good governance. That is what I am interested in. I am interested in the resources of this country distribute in an equitable manner. I am not about friends and family and partner. I am not about no underhand method. I am for fairness, justice, and equity in this country. I know of the beliefs and the traits of the PNM. I know the conduct and the behavior of the PNM. Nobody had to tell me, you know, I know. My parents and my grandparents grew up there, born there, support there. Some of them died there, my mother's still alive. My father died in the PNM. You hear what I'm saying earlier? So I ain't asking nobody. So even when I see them lack a brain, the lack of brain on social media, who believe that Rowley is the God, only worship him. Don't afraid. Worship him. I have no problem with all. No, don't fool yourself. All you say, I doesn't even reply to all you on Facebook. I doesn't even reply to all you on YouTube. Because all you, as far as I'm concerned, is the no brain clan. And when you have no brain, how you could argue with something that has no brain? You have to be more stupid than the thing. And that is what some other people really, really represent. The thing with no brain. So all you doesn't pinch me in no way. All you can make me ball ouch in no way. I live there. I understand. You know what we were taught? Let me help all you. We were taught growing up that we don't have land. We don't have business. We don't have money. But we have political power. The biggest lie any PNM could tell the children. The biggest lie any PNM could tell the children is that we have political power because we support the PNM. Lie. Biggest lie that a parent or a grandparent could tell a child. You never had political power under the PNM. Never. All you have under the PNM is to be used. You are a tool under the PNM. That is all you are, a tool. They will do nothing, absolutely nothing, than the selective few that they utilize, whether in CPEP or URP, whether by a contract. And let me tell you something, none of all your little small fry can't get it. Or your name ain't big enough. Or you have nothing to get. I asked recently, all those people who just come and pull you out your house and bring wheelchair for you and bring stretcher for you. You seen any of them now? You seen any of them now? But hold on a little bit. As the bell ring again, you will see them coming to you. Hello, morning. Sister, how you going? Well, you know the time reach again, girl. What time to come and pick you up? No, we sending the car to pick you up straight to the polling station and drop you back home. But with them now. With them now, they pass and check you. They come in and see if you have money to pay a bill. They come in and see if your children have food to go to school. They come in and see if your children have school uniform. They bring in a textbook for you. You get a pen and a pencil for them from them for the C exam. Where you get? You have nothing to get from them. Nothing. But as the election bell ring, they come and they oil the tool. You know how they just call you? They just call you the election machine. They oil you up. And as they oil you up, they're ready to rock and rumble. And for the next 4 years, and whatever month before they call the election, all by the side of the road begging to suck a pinnacle. That is what they're begging for, to suck a pinnacle. Nothing for you. And that is the political power that all your parents and all your grandparents telling all you that all you have. Political power. We have it. Yes, we have it. That's our party, man. That's the party we belongs to. The party resemble me, man. The party had the color of my skin, man. That's my party, man. That's my party. You can't buy sugar to give children some bush tea. But that's my party. They lick you up in petrol train, take away all your gratuity, everything. That's my party. Your car falling apart on the side of the road. Instead, the police look to mash up the gang leaders every Monday morning. They have a ticket waiting for you. They get so good now. They're writing out the tickets and have it there when they see is only to put in your car number. That's my party. You can't get medicine. See that? You can't get nothing. Not even a Panadol you could get. That's my party. Your bills increasing, cost of living up and going. I see but talk about food stuff going up by 33% or whatever percent again. That's my party. Your house was falling off, rain drizzling. You had to put bucket and posy and basin inside to catch water. That's my party, man. Your children bullying people in school to take with the box lunch to bring for your other children home. That's my party, man. This is where you are, people. Face reality. Get up, wake up, shake up. Face reality. Here is where you are. And you are not here because of your own doing per se, but you are here because of your own choice. You so toolish. You so toolish that you don't adjust yourself to the crime and criminal activities in this country. You don't adjust yourself to that already, you know. You don't adjust and fix yourself to do that. So when they hear 4 there, they think nothing strange. A matter of fact, these days they're searching on social media and say, but wait now, like the criminals slow down. How come nobody in there for this last 2 days, boy? That's where you reach. You're looking to see who dead. One of these days, you can't look no more because it's going to be you. Somebody going to be talking about you and your family. You know why? Because that's the party that you support. You ain't grow, you ain't wake up, you ain't reach the stage to understand that, hey, this thing had to be about good governance, boy. This thing had to be opportunity for we children to dare have conversation. And I say, oh, how this age group have become so selfish. That once we have something to eat, we don't care if we children don't have something to eat when we close the eye. Today, I was telling my daughter, I said some parents don't want to see the children live better than them, so they will keep you in the bowels of the P&M. They don't want to see the children elevate and excel, you know. They will keep you in the bowels of the P&M. What this P&M has done for you within this last 7 years in terms of development, in terms of infrastructure, election bell round the corner, you will see some roads paving, and those roads will be paved with substantial material. You feel it's good material? They will give it smooth now, and as the election finish, you go back to square one. You have had no meaningful contribution from this government in terms of development and setting the economical stage for your future generation. The stage that is being set today is a stage of disaster. Very soon, Rowley will have no use for you. The voting tool, he will have no use for you. Rowley is surrounding himself with a team of trusted elites. When they say he win, that's it, he win. When you go before the court and they turn it down, that's it, they turn it down. How many of you in this country knows that when coming to election petitions and so on, it could only finish right here in Trinidad and Tobago? How much of you know that? How much of you know that? This is the situation in this country. We never take the time to hold the government accountable for what they say. Not what they ain't say, no, what they say. When the government could tell you that we know all the gang leaders, we have the information, we have the equipment, and to date, after so many years, gangs continue to increase instead of decrease, while those in authority tell you that they know and they have the information. So then it's a clear case that they ain't intend to do nothing about it. And it's spreading like a disease. It's spreading. And I will give you more information on these gang activities as we move forward. Here is where I have to leave it tonight. My time is up, and we will continue this discussion on another occasion.
Remind your audience that we looking to move to the own page.
Yeah.
Right? Like and follow it.
So I want to again, as I said before, I want you to pay attention to this page, like and follow Facts Not Fiction on Facebook, because we will be moving straight over to this page. So this is the page that you will have to like and follow in order to get this program as we move it forward. So stay tuned, Facts Not Fiction, like and follow. God bless.
Don't worry, we're still part of the Douglas politics.
Of course. So I want to thank you. Actually, Douglas politics tomorrow?
No.
Sunday.
Sunday night.
All right, so Douglas politics Sunday night. I think we press conference tomorrow?
No. Sunday.
Sunday press conference. So stay tuned. Facts Not Fiction. Moving forward. Like and follow. Stay blessed. Stay safe. I'm out of here.